Unlock your health potential. Learning to identify root cause. Number 20. Electromagnetic hypersensitivity. An adult body is composed of more than 37 trillion individual cells. Each of those trillions of cells carries out at least 7,000 chemical reactions per second. All the reactions that occur in the cell and the human body are electrical in nature. The messages conducted via electrical signals in your body are responsible for controlling the rhythm of your heartbeat, the movement of blood around your body, and even your ability to think, focus, and feel. Your cells use electrolytes, bicarbonate, calcium, chloride, magnesium, phosphate, potassium, and sodium to maintain voltages across their cell membranes and carry electrical impulses across themselves and to other cells. Your nervous system requires electricity to send signals throughout the body and to the brain. These signals are delivered from cell to cell, allowing for nearly immediate communication. The computations required for such coordination are enormous. There may be anywhere from 10 to 100 trillion connections between neurons, synapses, in your brain, and each one operates as a tiny calculator that tallies signals arriving as electrical pulses. In addition, scientists confirm that the body's electromagnetic fields interact with all the other magnetic fields on Earth. This interaction manifests in many ways, ranging from normal physiological activity to severe tissue injury, illnesses, and even death. For example, for the heart to pump, cells must generate electrical currents that allow the heart muscle to contract at the right time. Doctors can even observe these electrical pulses in the heart using an electrocardiogram. Irregular electrical currents can prevent heart muscles from contracting correctly, leading to a heart attack. This is just one example of electricity's important role and disruptions in the body's electromagnetic fields, in health and disease. EMF refers to the energy provided by a source per unit electric charge, measured in volts. It is not a physical force, but rather a measure of energy transfer. It is a combination of an electric field and a magnetic field, which are interrelated and oscillate together, producing an electromagnetic wave. For eons, the energies that surrounded life were simple. There was the Schumann resonance, which essentially was a weak electromagnetic field sculpted by the solar and lunar cycles. There were random bursts of static electricity from lightning, weak radio signals from distant stars, and UV and infrared electromagnetic radiation from the sun. However, in just over 100 years, we humans have abruptly added massive man-made electromagnetic fields to our environment. We are currently awash in an ocean of electromagnetic energies that life has never before had to deal with ever. This has come on fast and furious, and the results are going to be our new inconvenient truth. To put things in perspective, in 1895, the modern era of electrical engineering began when we harnessed the power of Niagara Falls. In 1901, Marconi sent the first transatlantic radio message. In 1915, the first voice transmission by radio was made. And in 1920, the first commercial radio station was launched. Yet the greatest assault of the Earth's surface came right after World War II. We began bouncing shorter wavelengths off the ionosphere for long-distance communication. In 1947, Bell Telephone set up the first microwave phone relay between towers in Boston and New York City. The same year TV was born. In the 1950s, large transcontinental microwave relay networks, consisting of chains of repeater stations, linked by line-of-sight beams of microwaves, were built in Europe and America to relay long-distance telephone traffic and TV programs between cities. And the 1980s brought us cellular communications. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, we went from candles, campfires, and kerosene to high-speed communications, smartphones, and reality TV. Dr. Jack Kruse, a neurosurgeon who promotes the idea that modern human health issues are particularly related to the effects of electromagnetic fields, says the following: "It has been wildly successful for technology companies and for healthcare companies who take care of the collateral damage. While you love your modern life, you might have no idea how it is killing you because you cannot see, feel, touch, smell, nor taste the poison. Modern humans have blamed everything but the correct thing. It is the non-thermal effects of EMF, and the answers have been buried in physics and in space experiments for the last 50 years. It is time you get off your behinds and read the things that are published and start connecting dots. Do not blame your politicians or corporations for this. The data has been under your nose since the 1960s and 70s. We were too busy living la vida loca to notice. Blame yourself for staying in the dark so long." We love when our phone company comes out with a new generation of EMF power, 3G to 4G and now to 5G. Without consciously realizing, we just put more bullets in a gun that is killing us. Few people regularly engage in Russian roulette daily with a .45 caliber gun, but in today's world most people do it dozens of times a day when using their smartphone. Dr. Martin Pall, a renowned expert in the field of EMFs and their potential health impacts, and a professor emeritus of biochemistry and basic medical sciences at Washington State University, has dedicated his research to understanding the mechanisms by which EMFs affect biological systems. He is a published and widely cited scientist on the biological effects of electromagnetic fields. In his paper titled 5G, Great Risk for EU, US, and International Health, Compelling Evidence for 8 Distinct Types of Great Harm Caused by Electromagnetic Field Exposures and the Mechanism that Causes Them, he presents the following 8 well-documented effects of non-thermal microwave frequency, EMF, exposure. 1. Widespread neurological and neuropsychiatric effects. Effects include sleep disturbance, headache, depression, fatigue, dysesthesia, concentration attention dysfunction, memory changes, dizziness, irritability, loss of appetite, loss of body weight, anxiety, nausea, skin burning, tingling, and EEG changes. 2. Damage to the endocrine system. Steroid hormone levels drop with EMF exposure, whereas other hormone levels increase with initial exposure. The neuroendocrine hormones and insulin levels often drop with prolonged EMF exposure, possibly due to endocrine exhaustion. 3. Oxidative stress and free radical damage. 4. Damage to DNA. Damage produces single-strand breaks in the cellular DNA, double-strand breaks in cellular DNA, and oxidized bases in cellular DNA. Common disorders due to such mutations in humans include Duchenne muscular dystrophy, amniocentesis during pregnancy, Down syndrome, infertility, cancer, cystic fibrosis, and sickle cell anemia. 5. Decrease in male and female fertility, sex hormones, and libido, as well as increased levels of miscarriages. Research confirmed that human sperm count dropped by 50% to 60% between 1973 and 2011 alone, and reproductive rates have fallen below replacement levels throughout the technologically advanced countries of the world. 6. Excessive intracellular calcium and excessive calcium signaling. Sustained elevation of intracellular calcium levels produces many pathophysiological responses. 7. Elevated levels of apoptosis program cell death events. Apoptosis can be produced by excessive intracellular calcium levels in the mitochondria and by double-strand breaks in cellular DNA. It seems likely that both mechanisms involve EMF exposure. And 8. Increased risk of cancer. Such attacks are thought to act via 15 different mechanisms. Perhaps most telling, heavy long-term cell phone users have the highest incidence of brain cancer and have predominantly cancer increases on the side of the head on which they use their cell phones. There is also a substantial literature showing that EMFs may cause other effects, including life-threatening cardiac effects, such as tachycardia, arrhythmia, and bradycardia. In addition, substantial evidence suggests EMF causation of very early onset dementias, including Alzheimer's and other types of dementias. There is also evidence that EMF exposures in utero and shortly after birth can cause ADHD and autism. Electromagnetic fields are everywhere. They are produced by power lines, appliances, cell phone towers, Wi-Fi, and 5G. To most of us, these fields are undetectable, but a small number of people believe they have an actual allergy to electromagnetic fields. Does electromagnetic hypersensitivity exist out in the real world? Or is it all in some people's heads? Electromagnetic hypersensitivity, or EHS, historically referred to as microwave sickness, is a physical reaction to radio frequency radiation, or FR, and electromagnetic fields, EMFs. These come from mobile phones, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, smart meters, and similar devices. This illness is both highly controversial and little understood. Typical short-term symptoms are headaches, dizziness, brain fog, memory loss, muscle pains, heart palpitations, anxiety, depression, nosebleeds, and skin rashes. Long-term symptoms, often subconscious, range from cancer and infertility to neurological and cardiovascular harm. Short-term symptoms cease when the EMFs causing them are removed. Long-term symptoms can be irreversible. Consider the following. There is substantial evidence supporting non-thermal EMF sensitivity. This includes legal compensation and fines for failing to protect individuals with electromagnetic hypersensitivity, as well as the establishment of non-thermal safety limits and prohibitions. Additionally, some underwriters either refuse EMF insurance or classify it as high risk. Furthermore, there are disability rights and accommodations available for people with EHS. Invalidated attempts at denying non-thermal adverse EMF effects, including EHS and its symptoms, have been made since 1953. That year, radio frequency was found to cause cancer and was first used in warfare. This 72-year denial, longer than for smoking, is one of the longest denials of confirmed evidence in the history of science. Dr. Robert Becker, a 2-time Nobel Prize nominee, a pioneering orthopedic surgeon, and a leading figure in the study of EHS, referred to the propagation of unscientific denials of confirmed adverse non-thermal EMF effects as a conspiracy. He criticized the misinformation that invalidly conflates physical EHS with psychological electrophobia, arguing that such denials are part of a broader effort to suppress evidence of harm. Groups captured by the wireless industry typically produce biased research denying harm. Some biased internet search engines and websites even suppress confirmed scientific evidence for EHS, but highlight false denials. All while, at the same time, DARPA studies pilots suffering EHS symptoms like spatial confusion from radar and jammers. The current challenge physicians are facing around diagnosing EHS revolves around the lack of recognized diagnostic criteria, mechanisms by which EMFs cause EHS symptoms, and the lack of clear regulatory guidelines and standards for EMF exposure limits and safety protocols. The underlying causes of EHS are multifaceted and complex, involving potential interactions between electromagnetic field exposure, individual susceptibility, biological and psychological mechanisms, and psychosocial factors. As individuals, we all have different sensitivities or allergies, often driven by biological and environmental factors. It's logical, therefore, to conclude that people may experience electromagnetic hypersensitivity to differing degrees. Certain individuals may simply possess a heightened awareness or sensitivity to EMFs not present in the general population. Ultimately, EHS reflects the complex interaction between external environmental factors and the individual body's response. As the scientific community remains divided on the existence and causality of EHS, the suffering reported by individuals experiencing its symptoms is real and potentially debilitating. It is, therefore, crucial to address underlying causes of EHS for improved health and well-being.
Imagine discovering that the real power to heal has been inside you all along. Introducing Unlock Your Health Potential. This groundbreaking guide reveals how to move beyond chasing symptoms and instead uncover the true root causes behind your fatigue, mood changes, chronic aches, and other long-standing conditions, so you can finally experience the lasting relief and vitality you deserve. This book is a treasure trove of practical information. It offers the guidance and confidence you need to take charge of your well-being, break out of the vicious cycle of declining health, and rebuild the vibrant life you deserve.
To summarize, an adult body is composed of more than 37 trillion individual cells. Each of those trillions of cells carries out at least 7,000 chemical reactions per second. All the reactions that occur in the cell and the human body are electrical in nature. The messages conducted via electrical signals in your body are responsible for controlling the rhythm of your heartbeat, the movement of blood around your body, and even your ability to think, focus, and feel. Your cells use electrolytes to maintain voltages across their cell membranes and carry electrical impulses across themselves and to other cells. Your nervous system requires electricity to send signals throughout the body and to the brain. These signals are delivered from cell to cell, allowing for nearly immediate communication. Scientists confirm that the body's electromagnetic fields interact with all the other magnetic fields on Earth. This interaction manifests in many ways, ranging from normal physiological activity to severe tissue injury, illnesses, and even death. EMF refers to the energy provided by a source per unit electric charge, measured in volts. It is not a physical force, but rather a measure of energy transfer. It is a combination of an electric field and a magnetic field, which are interrelated and oscillate together, producing an electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetic hypersensitivity is a physical reaction to radio frequency radiation and electromagnetic fields. Typical short-term symptoms are headaches, dizziness, brain fog, memory loss, muscle pains, heart palpitations, anxiety, depression, nosebleeds, and skin rashes. Long-term symptoms, often subconscious, range from cancer and infertility to neurological and cardiovascular harm. Short-term symptoms cease when the EMFs causing them are removed. Long-term symptoms can be irreversible. The current challenge physicians are facing around diagnosing EHS revolves around the lack of recognized diagnostic criteria, mechanisms by which EMFs cause EHS symptoms, and the lack of clear regulatory guidelines and standards for EMF exposure limits and safety protocols. The underlying causes of EHS are multifaceted and complex, involving potential interactions between electromagnetic field exposure, individual susceptibility, biological and psychological mechanisms, and psychosocial factors. EHS reflects the complex interaction between external environmental factors and the individual body's response. As the scientific community remains divided on the existence and causality of EHS, the suffering reported by individuals experiencing its symptoms is real and potentially debilitating. It is therefore crucial to address underlying causes of EHS for improved health and well-being. If you are struggling with headaches, skin conditions, fatigue, sleep disturbances, dizziness, nausea, joint or muscle pain, tingling or numbness sensations, memory and concentration problems, anxiety or mood disorders, tinnitus, or arrhythmia, you might be hypersensitive to the EMFs load around you. Remember, suppressing a symptom may ease your suffering and help in the immediate moment, but it never gets to the underlying cause. This approach does not take into account your body's natural self-healing mechanisms and causes long-term dysfunction. Thus, it is best to think why, how, and mechanism of various conditions rather than focusing on the condition itself. Looking for tips and strategies on how to confirm and resolve this root cause? Our book, Unlock Your Health Potential, offers a comprehensive guide for how to confirm, address, and resolve the 24 major root causes discussed in this video series. For immediate actions you may take now to kickstart your healing journey, check our Master Your Health in 8 Weeks program. We hope you enjoyed and benefited from this short video. For a list of supporting references and resources, check this video description below. Please remember to like and share this video. May you achieve your health goals and experience joy, resilience, and optimal health.